What can be done to improve Oklahomans' health? That's just one of the questions we took to Dr. Corey Finch, who's the state's new Secretary of Health and Mental Health.
And KOCO's Andy Weber joins us live tonight. Andy, you sat down with the Secretary this afternoon.
Yeah, simply put, Dr. Finch says overall health needs to be improved here in Oklahoma. Where do we start? He wants to assess the programs we currently offer, figure out which ones are doing well and which ones aren't.
Oklahoma's health is pretty bad, as far as our report card. It's not going to be an overnight fix.
New Secretary of Health and Mental Health, Dr. Corey Finch, not mincing words, describing Oklahoma's public health. So why does Oklahoma continue to find itself in this position? Finch contends the state has a history of not always prioritizing health.
We like to eat. We enjoy gathering as Oklahomans, and one thing that we didn't pay attention to is our health. I think we were very focused on family in Oklahoma, always have been, but I don't think people as a whole really understood the value of health.
Finch says fixes are needed in several areas.
I want to know the programs that we have. I want to learn why we do them and if we should consider changing them. So the goal is to figure out what we're doing right.
And Andy, there seems to be a growing concern about access to IVF treatments after an Alabama court ruled the care violated their abortion ban. Did the Secretary speak to that today?
Yeah, it's a question we asked what he or the governor would do if there was a ruling in Oklahoma that made IVF treatments illegal. Here's what he had to say.
I think the governor would definitely want to continue to support that aspect of maternal fetal health. I would definitely defer on his judgment. If that is something he want to protect, I would definitely push to protect that.
And here at the state capitol for some time now, leaders in legislature have said that there are clear exceptions in current abortion bans to protect IVF treatments. Reporting live at the Capitol, I'm Andy Weber, KOCO 5 News.